There's nothing more peaceful than the sounds of nature on a sleepy island. All rests in a delicate balance. Herbivores grazing in their herds. Carnivores rest in the sunlight, awaiting the dusk. Chaos, however, never rests. In the distance, a loud screech echoes through the trees. Suddenly, there is tension in the air. The noodles are coming. I found myself spawned in the east. This is a generally quiet sanctuary most of the time, a good place for chaos to brew. Perfect, in fact, as evidenced by the Trudon that pounced me as I munched on mushrooms. Initially, I got him stuck in the cycads. But after he escaped and pounced me a second time, I simply kicked him in the not-yet venomous teeth. Galli grows fairly quickly, and before long we were well on our way toward being the annoying menaces we knew we were born to be. It's simply instinct, you see. And so, when we spotted a young Serrato in the northeastern plains, that instinct took over. The desire to kick. The need to punt. The irresistible pull toward walloping. Anyway, we did not seek to destroy, only to strike fear into the hearts of our enemies. And so we allowed the Serrato to live. For now. As life and growth continued around the lake, I made a discovery. Say it with me now. Land Dino. The only problem with finding one as a lone Galli is that I simply didn't have enough stamina on my own to kick a dino of that size to death before it reached the water. What a shame. But his annoyance gave me strength, and I hit full growth. Delicious. The next day, I logged in to a family of tennos calling for help and raptors barking in the distance. I decided to investigate. Not to help, just to see what was going on. Oh, literally a family. One adult and a gaggle of babies. How very cute. Baby tennos make the cutest noises. As I stood watching and sniffing for the nearest S-diet, one of them kicked me. There were too many babies for me to keep track of which one had started it in the fading light. And so I simply began kicking them all. It was the only option. You kick me, I kick back. I don't make the rules. This is simply the way of the Galli. Having scattered them, I decided I'd best go regain stamina and heal up. There were raptors nearby, and the last thing I needed was to get pinned because I didn't have the stamina to run away. As I sat on a rock, relaxing after the unruly children incident of '82, I spotted the same unruly children fleeing, without their adult guardian. As some big green hulking guy once said, "It's clobberin' time." I set off after them. It would be too dark to see soon, but I needed to kick them. I had no other choice. When my stamina got too low, though, and the darkness made it nearly impossible to see, I gave them one last kick to remember me by, and left before their guardian could catch up. By midday, I had healed from my previous misadventures, and Farmer had rejoined me. Perfect timing, considering the absolute mess that was going on in the plains. We had smelled eggs and intended to do a smash and grab, but were met by a pair of serratos the moment we crossed the river. And then, Carno. By the time I'd turned around to avoid it, the world was full of serratos and packies. We considered leaving, and then decided we'd much rather join the carnage than flee from it. We couldn't tell who was working together and who wasn't, but we found a separated serrato and he became our target. Soon enough, another Serato came in to protect him, only for a Packy to arrive. With the first Serato down, we put our sights on the second. At least until the Maya sent him for a swim with no stamina. He managed to get out on the other side, and we went to lick salt, before following the yells of a Packy back to our target. You know, the more time passes, the more I begin to wonder why people are so okay with mixed herds. Perhaps it's just me, but with herbivores in the Isle being inherently stronger, with more crowd control based attacks such as bone break and knockdown, I can't help but feel like we should be just as violently against mixed herds defending one another as we are against mixed packs hunting together. Deciding that there were way too many herbivores in the northeast, we made our way south. Not that south was much quieter. Tenantos screamed across the river, and feeling a desire to kick things, we opted to go investigate. What we found were Tenos, another Galli, and a Dibble fighting a pair of Dilos. And of course, we had no option but to kick. For that is what we were born to do. That is our destiny. That, and to run away at the first sign of danger. I got hit by a bite and was instantly envenomated and in danger of being killed by hallucinations. Fun's over. Time to get the heck out of Dodge. As soon as the venom passed out of my system, and with the morning breaking gently over the horizon, we spotted a Herrera on the edge of a cliff. And like a pair of very annoying geese, we locked onto the target and didn't let go. Just a little bit too low. If I could kick directionally that way, I would. Can I just, because I'm not gonna fall off of this. Come here. Come here. Oh my goodness, why am I moving so fast? I'm trying to just Z-walk. Just,
It was me.
Did I kick you?
Yeah.
How did I kick you?
No idea.
Come up a little bit higher, buddy. I just want to watch you go flying. Come on.
Yes.
Come
on. He's like, woo, that's scary.
You bit me.
You're totally gonna get trucked by something.
Probably.
While we're doing this.
Come here. What? Whoa!
Excuse you. Get over here.
I can kick him there. Watch this. Farmer got pounced by a second Herrera, but I killed the first. He, sat below the cliff, and the second one finished him off. The Herrera, though, met my perfectly manicured claws to the face. With Farmer respawning in the northeast, I began the trek back in that direction to pick him up. As I went, I spotted a pack of raptors hunting a water-camping Serato. Raptors are scary, but I couldn't help but drive by flying kick the Serato in the water. You know, for science. Before running away cackling. At water access, I stopped for a quick drink. Vomiting hadn't exactly done me any favors, but I had gotten amusement out of playing stupid games and winning my stupid prizes. While I drank, a fresh spawn pteranodon nipped at me. It missed on the first loop, and got set up for a second attempt. Guess he forgot that I'm a master of kung fu. Sometime later, with Farmer nearly regrown, we were making our way to West Access. Following the path, though, very nearly resulted in disaster. A group of Dilos right in our way got a couple of bites on me, and I was forced to run. How very rude. By the time the venom wore off, I was mostly healed again. I hadn't been terribly hurt in the first place, but with hallucinations working again, I couldn't take any chances. Of course, that naturally meant that when we spotted the same trio of Dilos by the pond, they needed to be kicked for biting me earlier. Those are simply the rules as previously lined out. We managed to get a few kicks on each of them, though Farmer got stuck in the middle and found himself being chased by multiple hallucinations. We had an escape plan, though, and he managed to survive by the skin of his beak. Back in West Rail, we went for a drink. As we prepared to approach the water, a nearby stego offered some incredibly sage advice. There's a dino in that pond. If you get a drink, you will die. Thanks, good sir. We opted to move onward, back to West Access instead. As we pulled up to the pond for a drink, another threat appeared. Carno. Granted, he was still fairly small, but getting a drink with a Carno even his size nearby was just asking for trouble. How much trouble, though, we couldn't have guessed. Two more Carnos appeared as we crested the hill, and one of them was fully grown. We didn't have the speed to outrun their charges at night. In the open, we were sitting ducks. The geese. Farmer dropped, and I darted away toward rough terrain to heal. We should have gone to South Pond for water instead. Still in the midst of healing, I wandered around, avoiding the Carnos and keeping my stomach full, as I waited for Farmer to regrow. During the day, the Carnos were only a minor threat. I could run 58 kilometers per hour. Even their charge couldn't keep up with me. Which is why, when a Dilo, which in theory is slower than both a charging Carno and definitely my speeding Galli, got not 1, but 4 bites on me as I was moving in a straight line at my top speed. Anyway, I managed to escape him, but my bleed was a definite problem. All I had to do was survive the bleed, and any latent clones that might... Oh. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and comment your thoughts below. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for more content like this. Thanks, and I hope to see you again soon.